Hey guys, Timster here with another video, and today I'm doing something you guys recommended me to do, and that is we're checking out the 5 tier 8 premium tanks you can buy in the tank store. These babies, what I'm basically going to do is show you guys one battle in each of these premium tanks, some of the funniest and best battles that really shows what these tanks are good at, so you guys have an idea of which tank you may want to buy. We're gonna go over their stats and what they're good at, and their pros and cons, so you guys really have a good review of which of these tier 8 tanks is the best one for you. Anyway guys, let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with the T-34. This thing is, well, of course I have the T-34 Independence, and we're going to be starting off on Copperfield, as you can see. This thing is, well, it's got a lot of freedom in its gun, let's just put it that way. It's quite a special tank. It is pretty similar to the T-32 and the T-29, as well as the T-30. They're all kind of from the same family. But the T-34 actually has a weaker turret. I think it's kind of like the T-30. I haven't played the T-30, but I think it is. It's got 279 millimeters of frontal turret armor, and that is only for the gun mantlet. The gun mantlet on the turret. The side cheeks of that turret actually can get penetrated from tier 10s and other top tier tanks, even some tier 9s and tier 8s. But you want to watch out, because it is very hard to penetrate this turret, but just keep in mind that it's not impossible, okay? As for the hull armor, nothing special there. It can, I guess, bounce a couple shots. It's got 102 millimeters in the front, 76 on the sides, and 51 on that rear portion, so nothing special there. It's not a lot of armor, to be honest. As we can see, we're gonna rush this Cheeto here because the enemy tanks have neglected this side, and there we go. That is the gun I am talking about, the 400 alpha damage gun. And yes, we did just take a shot from the Tiger 2 because we are not hull down, and another from the T-29. So what we're doing here is we're gonna get into a proper distance away from these guys, and now our hull is covered by that nice hill, so they can't actually put effective shots into our hull. Now we're effectively using that turret, which we should have been doing, and as you can see, we're bouncing a lot of nice juicy shots. One weird thing about this tank is that it actually has 203 millimeters on the back, right there on that 4. There's 203 millimeters on that. I don't know why, but that's how it is, right? But that's just a neat little fact. Anyway, we're going to work on this Tiger 2 here. We're completely destroying him, and there he goes. And we just keep bouncing shots here. We fixed our gun, and for the time being, we're just chilling here. This is kind of like it's a very defensive tank. You don't want to be rushing with this tank a lot of the times, most of the time at least. You want to basically stay in a hold down spot, and it makes it that's up to you if you like that kind of play style. It's a very safe kind of way of playing. You have to be very patient, look at your options, and look at who you want to shoot at. This gun has a massive 15-second reload time, so that's a pretty damn long time to be reloading, so you want to be very careful as to what you're shooting. Unlike me, right? Look at that. Totally derp a shot into the ground there. Was going for a lucky shot, and didn't really work out. But yes, this tank is known for its gun. It has a whopping 400 alpha damage, as I said, and it's got 248 millimeters of penetration. That is for the standard AP shell. We're not even talking APCR. You shouldn't really be using APCR with this shell, but that is what I like. You don't actually have to be using APCR. And here I'm kind of derping. I thought there was someone behind for some reason. They're actually all over there. Our buddy, our ally over there, just kind of spotted them up. So now we're getting back into position here. Another T-34. Would you look at that? But yeah, we're gonna be sticking. As you can see, we've been sticking to this side pretty much the whole game. This T-34 is gonna try and get a shot into us. He looks at us and is like, nope. And we get to finish him off. As you can see, that hole is pretty easy to actually penetrate, but that hole turret portion was quite red, as you can see. Anyway, we're finishing up the Indian Panzer here, and that is going to wrap it up. GG in the T-34. It's not got the best maneuverability, as you can see here, but we're still gonna go cliff diving just for the fun of it, right? Why not? Freedom, America! And that is the battle. So very nice tank. It is, as I said, a very defensive tank, so you don't want to be doing too much. But very nice game in the T-34. Of course, the I-6 wins that one. And you know what? Talking to the I-6, let's get into some I-6 footage here. And yes, this match is going to be on Copperfield, and it is going to be in one of the most OP and legendary platoons, the I-6 platoon. The most legendarily awesome, amazing platoon in the world. I-6 platoons are seriously OP, guys. Anyway, we are playing next to a T-34. You might not have realized yet, but we have gone back in time. We are playing the I-6, so that is actually us playing the T-34 at the same time. This is just a time warp. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway, we're heading up the up the hill here. Me, this T-34, and my platoon mate are going up this hill. And we're gonna have a nice 3v4 up here. The maneuverability on this thing isn't great. We've got 700 horsepower. We weigh 50 tons, so it is all right. I honestly can't complain with maneuverability. We're gonna take refuge behind these little logs here, and there we are, another IS-6. I like this because we kind of get a sense of what it feels like to get shot at. One thing you will notice is that the lower glacis on the IS-6 is one of its major weak spots, so you definitely want to hold down or lower glacis down, whatever you want to call it. But thankfully we have these logs there. Oh, there goes a log. But we're continuously doing damage, putting some shots into these guys. Unfortunately, though, this tank is, the gun on this tank is quite inaccurate. So we will be missing a lot of these shots due to that inaccuracy. That's one thing you want to keep in mind. Definitely want to aim your shot, but sometimes when you're in a stressful situation, you can't do that. But we're doing work on this side, to be honest. And oh, there goes the T-34, unfortunately. And we're going to be chilling here, just waiting for the right time. He fires, and now it is our turn. And boom, we miss again, unfortunately. But so far, our armor is holding up pretty good. We have bounced a couple shots here. We're going to go to work on this IS-6. Oh, boom, get rectumed. And we have 100 millimeters on the side and rear, the side and front of our hull armor. And we've got 150 on the side and the front of our turret. So it's a very well armored tank, and you will notice that I'm not actually doing too much angling. Now I'm side scraping. It's going to be pretty much useless against the E75, but I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Most of the time you'll be wiggling, and side scraping is the only real kind of angling you'll ever do in the I-6, because this tank is naturally angled, so it is very suitable for people who have just started in Blitz, or who don't really, or not like on a professional level, and most of us aren't, so including me. So that this will suit your needs right here. Look at this. We don't even give one. Like tier 7 Tiger P, we're just going straight for it. 400 alpha damage. We didn't actually manage to penetrate him. We got his tracks, but this tank, oh Jesus, the penetration on this tank is pretty horrible. We managed to finish the Tiger P off. That's a tier 7. Here comes an E75. We are going to have to switch back to APCR just to try and penetrate this thing's side. This side armor on this thing. We need APCR. The penetration on this thing is horrible. It's 175 millimeters for AP, so most of the time you will be needing to use that APCR. And here we're just gonna YOLO it, you know, he's on low, we can just rush him, and yeah, there we go, GG. So this is pretty much an amazing tank. It's got a pretty average, decent maneuverability. I'm definitely happy with it. Amazing armor, very high alpha damage of 400 for its gun. So a pretty amazing tank if you ask me. And there we go, I6 win for the day. Very nice battle. The next tank we're going to be looking at is the Super Persian. Got a lot of requests for this, and this is where it's going to be coming in, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is quite a special game. There's a lot of funny games in this video, and the end of this one is going to be quite funny. Not as funny as the last battle, but this one's it's equally funny, trust me. Anyway, we're heading into a battle here on this Oasis Palms, I think it is. And we are going to be headed on the left side, or straight in front, if that makes it easier to comprehend. And as you can probably see from the start, the T-3485 has just, well, right now he's basically zooming past us. We have 500 horsepower and we weigh 50 tons. Our top speed is 40.2 kilometers per hour, but most of the time we're going to be going a whopping 20 kilometers per hour. Like right now we're going 13. This is just tremendously slow, especially for a medium tank. That's all due to its frontal armor, and that turret armor though, this thing has layers of literally layers of armor at its front there, and it's probably known as one of the most troll tanks because I mean, oh, this thing, it looks like basically Wargaming basically tells you can penetrate this tank at the front, but what it's basically telling you is you can only penetrate the first layer. The two next layers, or the third layer, you can't actually penetrate, so it will bounce. That is why this is probably one of the most troll tanks in the game. Same thing for the turret armor. There's those little side flaps. They will tell you, yeah, you can penetrate those, but then you can't actually make it through to the next layer of the turret. So it's a little troll. It's a little troll tank there, and I absolutely love trolling this Comet, for example, who is going to get quite a couple bounces on us. We do manage to get a nice, oh, there we go, what a nice bounce. I don't even think that was on our, that was at our tracks, actually. Interesting. But, yep, we bounced the shot there, and now we're going straight into the action. We want to support this left side and get rid of these tanks on the left before supporting the right side. T-29 up above gets a nice shot into us. Fortunately, he doesn't have the amazing, I don't know what kind of gun he has, but I don't think it's the tier 8 gun, so we are doing fine here. We're gonna try and finish this T-29 off, and the AT-15 does get the kill there, so that's an issue, and that's unfortunate, right? Again, we are hold down here, and the Comet and the IS-3 do bounce shots on us. I thought that was pretty funny because the IS-3 has an amazing gun. So to bounce a shot from him is quite the honor. Now this T-3045, I don't know if it's a bot or not, but he actually is firing. He did fire a shot right there. So we're going to be forced to take this guy down while the AT-15 goes to work on the IS-3. So good stuff all around. Notice we are practically hold down for this entire match, because that is how you want to play this thing. It does have very good frontal armor, but you don't want to rely on it. The turret of this thing is equally as amazing, so definitely go for as much hold down positions as you can while playing this tank. Here we are going an average 15 kilometers per hour and missing every shot we get to take. But yeah, we're continuing moving along here. The Comet is the next on our meal. So we're gonna take a nice juicy shot at the Comet, and the AT-15 gets the kill. This AT-15 should gets a "You're awesome" medal, because me and this AT-15 totally carry the game. So shout out to the AT-15. Now here we have an IS-6 making its way here, and I'm staying here for two reasons. First of all, there's tanks on the left that I actually want to shoot, so boom, goodbye Cromwell. And secondly, when this I-6 comes over, I want to be in a hold down position because I've got this nice sandy ridge thing, or whatever it's called. Fortunately, the I-6 does not move up because, well, there's an AT-15 there. The ISU takes a shot, he misses, we take a shot, we miss, and I'm like, YOLO swag, and I'm totally rushing here. Hopefully he does not reload, and He does not get another shot on us, luckily, because we would have probably lost the match if he had. So it's time to assist this AT-15, which is going to work on these two tanks here. And we're going to come around, give some nice butt fire action using that beautiful 15km/h engine. Okay, now we're going 20 to be fair. And it looks like we're going to be able to finish off this IS-6. And now, well, I don't even know. I don't even know. This thing is a little weird. I'm trying to fake a shot. I'm trying to make this ISU shoot us at the turret here. But he is having none of it. He's already aimed at the AT-15, for God's sakes. And, yep, there goes the AT-15. And I'm like, I am so screwed. But just watch the amount of shots I get in here. My standard shell penetration is 170. That's IS-6 terms here. I'm firing APCR and missing most of my shots. And boom, he gives us his lovely presence. We're not liking it too much. I do get some nice shots into it, though. I have quick reload activated, so it's going a little easier. He's on fire. Next shot he gets into us. We are screwed. Can we get the last shot at? No. But he bounces the other shot. Oh my, and I miss. Okay, this is just sad, guys. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please cover your eyes. Fortunately, he sucks as much as we do, so we actually somehow managed to kill him. I don't know how that happens. We literally missed the two next shots, but still managed to kill him. GG in the Super Pershing, as the T-3485 said, LOL, right? We got our first tank mastery badge, almost 3,000 damage. Honestly, I don't know how that happened, but we did it. And next tank is going to be the Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger 8.8 centimeter, probably known as the German Fortress, right? Because of those amazing 250 millimeters of frontal armor. This thing is pretty freaking amazing. It's got a lot of armor, and if used well, you can do a serious amount of damage in it. Here we are on Goldville, and we're going to be headed up to that cave, one of the key spots on this map. So that's where we're going to be headed and spend most of the time right up there. So as you can see, it's a pretty slow tank. This thing weighs 70 tons, so it does definitely make sense. Since we have a little time, let's talk about the maneuverability here. It has 24 degrees of traverse speed. Not amazing. It's a tank destroyer. You control this thing pretty freaking easily, so watch out for those medium tanks. It's got 700 horsepower, a speed limit of 38, which we are currently not going because, again, we're going uphill, of course. And moving on to the armor, it might have 250 on the front. You want to keep in mind that the lower glacis is a little weaker, so if you can get into a hold down spot, that's pretty important for this tank, so you can keep on bouncing those shots from those enemy tanks. It's also got 80 millimeters on the sides and the rear, and that is not going to cut it in a tier 8 battle, so you definitely want to watch out for those weak sides and that weak rear. So while you're angling, don't angle too much because they will penetrate your side. That's one of the weak parts of the tank, the sides and rear. So we've got a KV-3 here who just popped up, and he is like loving the damage. Look at this rate of fire here. Oh Jesus, we are firing every 4.9 seconds, 220 alpha damage onto this KV-3, and in no time we can pounce our next shot into him and finish him and get the beautiful kill of awesomeness. This gun has 203 millimeters of standard penetration, that is for AP, and honestly that is not bad, as we'll see later. Of course, oh, there we go, we actually did get a shot on that T-29, and now we're just doing some good old sniping, because that is what this tank is all about. This tank has 0.31 dispersion at 100 meters, so it's actually a pretty accurate tank when you are, like, look at the distance we're firing at, and we're still making some pretty good penetrating shots here. Anyway, now we're kind of at a standstill. Our whole team has literally been obliterated in a matter of seconds. Of course, it's all due to that IS-6 because IS-6s are OP. LOL JK. But I saw that T-29 coming up on the flank here, and I'm like, hey, Mr. T-29, what you think you're doing? You think you can sneakily go up on me? And yep, there he is. We're gonna be, yep. We do manage to angle in time. We did a nice flick of the wrist there, and he wasn't able to penetrate us. So that turret is way too red for me. So I'm trying to, you know, angle and get some shots into his whole turret, which is working. He does manage to put one into us, but we finish him off nonetheless. So no problem there. And now we've got a T-43 who thinks he's like really sneaky and everything, and I'm just like, no, you're not. And at this point we do come out because we want to get some shots onto that T-43 and help our ally, which is completely being murdered on the top of a hill, not moving. But whatever, that's up to him, right? You know, if he doesn't want to move on top of a hill getting shot by like 6 tanks, that's up to him. Now there's a Tiger 1. Oh, no more Tiger 1. He's also dead. And I realize, hey, I'm the last tank standing, so I'm going to take a defensive position here and shoot this IS-6. Now the first shot does not actually go in, and boom, you'll notice that he does get a shot on our side. So our side is definitely one of the weak spots. You don't want to angle too much because like what I'm doing, he's getting constant shots into our side. That T-43 does derp one there, but boom, and there, yeah, there he goes. That's the shot. I kind of realized he's getting constant shots into our side, so I stopped doing the whole angling and finished this T-43. Now you may have noticed that we have no more APCR, but we are still getting some pretty average constant shots into this IS-6. We will actually be able to finish him. And yeah, it does show that that's a pretty amazing rapid firing gun, and it definitely lives up to its name. How good is the gun? Well, let's see. Even though that was a defeat, Hellcat comes out of nowhere. But even though that was a defeat, we did 4,523 damage. Jesus Christ. Thank goodness we have a team, right? Thank goodness. We did more damage than the IS-6, for Christ's sakes. And yeah, we got Top Gun. We got a 3rd class mastery badge on a defeat. Like, some pretty ridiculous stuff. So that's the Jagdtiger, a pretty defensive tank. But let's move right on to one of my favorite heavy tanks, next to the IS-6, of course. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Louvre. I don't know how to pronounce this tank. It's just so weird to pronounce. It just is. Okay, this is gonna be the end battle in this. The end battle is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was just hilarious. I started crying. So definitely stick till the end here. But we're gonna be heading on the left here in the Louvre. I went to my grandma. She said, she's German, by the way. She said it's pronounced Louvre. Louvre. That's how you say lion in German. I think I'm just gonna call this tank the Lion Tank, because, or the Lion King. That's a great name. Lion King. Here we go. Because I can't pronounce that name for my life. Anyway, we're heading here on the left, and there is a KV-1S which has rushed way too far out, way too quickly, while its team is basically all the way in the back. And we're gonna use that beautiful 800 horsepower to our advantage. Now 800 horsepower is a lot. But how much does this tank weigh, you may be asking? This tank weighs 90 tons. 90 tons. That's not even the funny part. As we shoot this Tiger here, the funny part is that Hitler actually didn't want to build this tank because he thought it was too light. He wanted to build tanks like the E-100. He's like, 90 tons, psh, that's nothing for Germany. And yeah, that's the reason he did. There were no prototypes or anything of this tank. Anyway, I'm using this wall really effectively here. My turret is just sticking out. You see there's a little ridge actually covering my my front hull, but my turret is able to get shots right off that small little ridge onto the side. And I'm using my angling techniques here. You definitely want to angle with this tank. The Louvre is probably one of the tanks that requires the most angling out of all the tanks we've just played here. This tank is if you don't angle, you will get shredded into pieces, and we are doing it quite effectively. There's a T30, there's a T44, he's sneaky. No, you do not get shots onto our butt. No, you don't. We're gonna continue angling here. It has 80 millimeters on these sides and rear, and of the turret and the hull, and we're gonna use that quite effectively. It's got 120 millimeters on the turret front and the turret hull. So, of the hull and the turret, sorry. So we're going to use that also quite effectively. Now we're kind of running away from an SU and finishing off a Tiger at the same time. Because flanking isn't good. No, it isn't. And there is an IS-6, of course. T-43, we bounce a shot. And we are going to try and finish this little guy off here. Will we fit? Yes, we do. And this is when the fun starts. Please inform me as to how many tanks we have on our team. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have 5 tanks on our team. There is 1 tank remaining. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's about time. I'm gonna wait for my team to, help me clear up this IS-6. Win, right? There's no way we can't win. Well, as you may have realized, the IS-6 is an OP tank, so anything is possible in the IS-6. Anyway, I'm going to be kind of chilling here. This IS-6 wants to kill me so bad. Like, he's been aiming at me for the past, 60 seconds. It's getting pretty funny at this point, but this isn't it, okay? Oh, goodness. You know what? In the meantime, while he's, just aiming at us, let's talk about the alpha damage. This thing has 310 alpha damage, 234 millimeters of penetration. It has probably one of the best guns out there, and I'm going to try and get a shot. No, I do not actually get a shot. He was pretty well angled there. And an 11-second reload time. However, I do get a nice shot with an AP round, notice, into the IS-8. So this tank definitely has probably one of the best guns, next to the T-34's gun, of course. But yeah, he's still aiming at us, boys and girls. And I come too far out because I thought he was gonna rush me. Nope, he was charging into an ISU because that's what you want to do. Now, all this time I've been talking, you may be asking, what the was my team doing? Well, that's a great question. And the one died, of course, but these 3 tanks, well, first of all, the Panther 2 is AFK. This SU-100, I don't know what he's firing with, but he's doing approximately 3 damage every time. And yeah, I6, thank you for telling us what the Panther should be doing. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Here he goes again. Just look at what is happening. This is the funniest thing ever. Like, this IS-6, I don't know how he managed to get this win. Maybe because my team was just as bad as him. I don't want to be cruel to my team, but come on. I mean, props to the SU. The SU is probably the one tank that did the most actual damage to this tank. So props to him. Just what is happening? Ready? Look at this. This is when the fun starts. Yep, he manages to bounce a shot off of a tier 6 SU-100. GG. I know your penetration is bad, mate, but come on. And look, this. I mean, you thought the fun was starting 6 minutes ago. Oh no, it's still going on. This is amazingly funny. Look at this IS-6. He's just like, how am I going to beat this guy? I'm gonna go around him. Let's go around. What is even happening? At this point, I was actually crying. Look at this. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. This is probably the funniest thing I've ever witnessed. And oh my god. I can't do it, guys. He just bounced a shot off the rear of a Panther 2. GG. Oh goodness. I didn't even want to check his win rate after this battle, but this was probably one of the funniest. I was crying during this replay. I was literally crying how much time it took him. I thought that was a good replay in the Louvre nonetheless, because We did some good angling throughout that battle, and we used our gun quite effectively. If you were going to purchase one of these tanks, now you know which one you truly want to obtain. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed watching me just suck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and these beautiful 5 tier 8 premium tanks, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.